Poorly trained employees, despite their best intentions, produce inefficiencies, excess costs, and unhappy customers. Many managers feel that training employees is best left to others. The best managers strongly believe that they should do it themselves. Remember, as a manager, your output is equal to the output of your organization, plus the neighboring organizations under your influence. Your productivity depends on eliciting more output from your team. Recall that there are two ways to raise the level of performance: by increasing motivation, which we covered in a previous episode, or by increasing individual capability through training. It's generally accepted that motivating employees is a key task for any manager, and one that can't be delegated to someone else. So why shouldn't the same be true for training? Training is one of the most high-leverage activities that you can perform. Say you spend 12 hours writing a paper on management best practices, and 10 people read it. Next year, those 10 people will work a total of about 20,000 hours. If that paper results in a 1% improvement in performance, your company gains 200 hours of additional productivity as a result of your 12 hours. Now imagine if 100 or 1,000 managers read the paper. For training to be effective, it must be a process, not an event. Employees should be able to count on it being systematic and scheduled, rather than a rescue effort designed to solve a problem. If you accept that training, along with motivation, is the way to improve performance, and what you teach must be closely tied to what you practice, and that it must be a process rather than a one-off event, it becomes clear who must do the training. You, the manager. You should instruct your team and perhaps a few ranks below them. Your subordinates should do the same, as should every manager at every level of the organization. There is another reason why you must fill the role of the teacher. Training must be done by a suitable role model. Proxies, no matter how good they are at teaching, cannot assume the role. The person teaching should be seen as a believable, practicing authority on the subject. Understand that there are two types of training. The first is focused on teaching new employees what they need to do their jobs. The second is to teach new ideas, principles, or skills to existing team members. Make a list of the things you feel your team should be trained on. Don't limit the scope. Items can range from simple, like how to format a document, to abstract, like the objectives and values of the company. Don't forget to ask people what they feel like they need. You'll be surprised by what they tell you. Once you've got your list, assign priorities among the items. If you haven't done training in the past, start small. Create one short course on the most urgent subject. You'll find that things you find easy are much harder to explain than to practice. Just get started. Create an outline, develop the first part of the course, and go. Develop the second part once you've delivered the first. Accept that the first time you teach something, it won't be that good. To avoid causing damage, teach the course to your most knowledgeable team members who can help shape it. Always ask for anonymous feedback. Prompt people for numerical ratings and pose open-ended questions. Study and consider the responses, but understand that you'll never be able to please everyone. If you receive feedback that the content was too detailed, too superficial, or just right, in about equal balance, you're on the right track. What matters is that you accomplish what you set out to do. Training is hard. Preparing materials and getting yourself ready to answer questions is difficult. Even if you're great at your job, you'll be amazed at how much you don't know. It takes a lot more knowledge to teach than to do. But guess who learns the most? You. And that alone is worth the effort.